guys? This is the Beyond Celebrity Show. I'm your host, Cesar Pena. I got my co-host, Miguel Sanchez, producer extraordinaire. But I got a special guest, Marija from Serbia, welcoming. She's the first fan of the show that's going to be actually on the show. So introduce yourself, Marija.
Hi guys, I'm from Serbia, not Siberia, but everyone else thinks. It's not as cold as you think here. And I watch this show. I'll be watching it for days and enjoying it. And I would recommend it for Corona time and later on. And there are some great Paps videos, nice ones, good quality, nice shots. And that's about it. As for me, I'm a teacher. I teach English. And as a second language, but I also do some other stuff, freelancing, subtitles, technology, and so on.
Nice.
Amen. So
yeah, Marija was up on technology when we had the technology show. She knew a lot about technology.
That's amazing. So Marija, what made you come on? Not come on the show, but what brought you to watch the show? Like, how did you come about?
Yeah, how did you first meet? How did you first find out about Cesar and 24/7 Paps first?
Well, first I watched a couple of videos random videos on YouTube about BTS, being their fan for a year or so, and I've noticed that Cesar's videos are a bit different because I heard his voice and I recognized that voice after hearing it a couple of times, and the quality of the video was also amazing, and I remembered him, and then I thought this guy has to have some more good material in future, and I subscribed, and then I did watch some other videos too of celebrities and enjoy them. And when you start doing live shows, I was like, what's this? I don't remember subscribing to this, but then I remembered the voice. When I heard the voice, I connected those two. And I've been enjoying it because, you know, you're doing a lot of great stuff with young people, you know, trying to promote them and everything. And then I stayed. Now I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of being on any live show or being on video, but
now you're a star. Now you're a star. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
So how is it like right now, how is it in Serbia as far as like we're just gonna ask you one question about the coronavirus. So how is it over there with the coronavirus and stuff like that in Serbia?
Well, it's not as bad as in Spain and Italy right now, but we are fighting, and every day there are more and more sick people. Not too many deaths, I would say, but we cannot go out for 12 hours each day. So that's that helps a lot because you're not in contact. You can go, I mean, during those 12 hours, you can go wherever you want to, but you don't, you cannot go to cafes because they're closed or movies or anywhere, just groceries and the pharmacies. That's about it.
Wow. All right. Besides BTS, do you have any other like celebrities you like?
Well, I'm not sure, to be honest. I mostly like watching actors more than these younger singers. So I enjoy watching red carpet shows or something like that, or when they're where they're on some awards ceremonies or something like that. I enjoy watching that when not just Pavs, but reporters have an opportunity to talk to them, you know, not just take pictures of them and make videos, but I like that interaction with them.
All right.
So mostly actors and actresses, not so much, you know, pop stars.
Have you ever met any actors? Have you ever met anyone celebrity?
Except you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, have I met? No, but I have a funny story. I mean, I watched BTS on Malta because every year they go somewhere, usually where they cannot be so easily recognized, and they make a show. I don't know, 10 shows, for example. They go there for a couple of days and they record every day and all their activities. And they've been on Malta. I'm not sure if you have heard of that country.
I heard of Malta.
Malta is like one of the smallest countries in Europe. You can easily go around Malta in an hour, but it's a country. and they've been there. And then I was watching that, and I said to myself, "Oh, that's a great country and everything. I've never been there." A few days later, I get a call. It was some kind of a competition for teachers to go there for a seminar, something like that. And I was like, "Is this God joking with me?" And I was like,
What?
"I'm gonna apply for this." And actually, I was there in November, and I was like, "Okay, I didn't meet them, but I was like literally on all places where they were."
Yeah.
That's so that was the closest to some big celebrity I was, and I was there's a huge festival here called Exit Festival. So
Okay.
when I was younger, I used to go there and watch Morocco. Are you familiar with them? There's their singer, their female singer. Now I forgot her name. She's famous, and a lot of big names come there. Exit Festival in July, and so that's the closest when I go to festivals and concerts. And I did plan to go to Berlin this July for a BTS concert, but Corona has other plans.
Yeah.
So we'll see about it.
We'll be back on because all these people are losing so much money. They're gonna do shows like crazy. All these people shows.
So this is because I know we're talking about BTS now. How did you become a fan of BTS? How did BTS? I know all the.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know. My best friend, she lives in another city now. But we see each other on our birthdays, or my kid's birthday. And I was there. And first of all, she started sending me, and I was like, "What's this? I don't like this. I can't even recognize the members. I don't want to see this." And she was like very persistent. And then I went to her birthday. Then I listened to 1 song, 2 songs, 3 songs. After, I don't know, 5 songs, I was like, "This is not bad." A year later, I'm like, how we're gonna buy tickets, how we're gonna buy tickets. And what's the worst thing? She used to listen to punk. She's a punker, rocker. I listened to several things, but not K-pop ever in my life. But what I really love about them is that I love people who invest effort in whatever they do. And when you watch BTS or many other K-pop groups, their performance, dancing, stage, live shows, everything is a perfection and so much effort in it. I love that. And I think, although I grew up listening to American music, I still listen to it, that most of pop icons became a bit lazy. Like you have one green screen, 5 to 6 dancers, some, freestyle moves. That's about it. And the lyrics are another story,
Yeah.
And these people, when I go to their lyrics and I see 10 people, so 10 people made lyrics. So they invest a lot of it, think a lot about it. Ed Sheeran helped them with 1 song.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know. Ed Sheeran made a song for them?
Yes. They cooperated. They had several cooperations with Dua Lipa, with Dua Lipa, and some other you can see on their channel. So that's what, first of all, good songs, then good performance, and their efforts to make it very, very good quality.
Yes.
That's pretty interesting. Like I never thought about it like that. That makes sense. They are being heavily invested in, right? Like as a group.
God.
So
yes, it's a big business. I know. I understand that it's a big business. It's not just a group of boys who I listened to New Kids on the Block when I was 10. I grew up listening to
New Kids on the Block.
But even that was made. Only 2 of them were brothers. However, they do not stop. They are getting BTS. They are getting popular, and then their videos are better and better and better. Everything is even on a higher level. So they are, they're not losing like, okay, now I'm a celebrity. I don't give a damn. No, they are investing a lot in it and respecting their fans.
I saw something on Netflix. There was something about how they make K-pop bands. There was there was a show on Netflix. I think it was called Explained. And they were showing how they build K-pop bands, and it's a crazy process. Like, it's kind of like those shows, like where they literally like they have certain types that they interview a lot of people, and they pick a person for each type that they're looking for the band. It's crazy. That is a process.
Yes, it's a business, it's a business, but a good business. I didn't watch that show, but I watched a lot of videos and I know a lot about it. And there are certain boot camps, you can say, like that, training camps. So you're 13, you start dancing, and you're hoping to become an idol. They call them idols. And so those kids are practicing for years. They can practice for 5 or 6 years and never become an idol, because there are too many of them, of course, and not all of them are super talented. But after a certain number of years, if you are talented, you will probably make it into some band, and you are right. But doesn't that, and every boy or girl band do, like we have a blonde, brunette, redhead, a good singer, a good rapper, tall, to satisfy all tastes.
Yep. That's what they do. They make, like, there's a type of person to satisfy all needs of. That's why it becomes so popular, because they're like, there's a formula to make it like catchy.
Exactly.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
But I have to really recommend some of their songs, not right now, but you really have to listen, like 5 or 6 their songs. You're gonna see it's a good quality of production. When you listen to it, it's another level, and what's the most amazing thing, 90% of their songs are in Korean. I don't have a clue about Korean.
That's what I was about to ask. I literally was thinking that right now, like, is it all in Korean, or is
90%? There are some singles when one singer makes a single and he sings in English only, but it's not so easy to understand it without the subtitles. You even have to read, the subtitles. But it's so good that even without knowing everything, you do have translation, but it doesn't rhyme. It's in English. But even without that, if you turn that off and just listen and watch the video and enjoy the whole experience, it gets you. You understand it. They've sold, I don't know, many stadiums in the USA last year. They sold 2 Wembley stadiums in the UK 2 days in a row last year, then France, and so on and so on. I think if they performed every day, they would sell every day each stadium. They're so huge.
That's crazy.
That's great.
Let me explain something, right? First time I really started listening to their music, I was at iHeartRadio. They was doing interviews at iHeartRadio, and I was waiting outside, and so it was about 5, 6 different girls playing their music, the whole album. And I was like, wow, they got some real catchy tunes. I didn't understand a lot, but they'll go to English, you will hear a couple English, but it didn't matter. Everybody dancing and everybody singing the songs. And I was just like, wow, they have this thing about them that is you can't really explain it, but they're so affectionate. People wow, I get it after you listen to them, but they're the real deal, though. They're the real deal.
Yeah, too bad one of them has to go to the army this year, and they're probably soon gonna fall apart, because it's obligatory there in Korea to go before you're 28.
Wow.
And the oldest one is almost 28. So soon they will go to the army.
Think they're big enough to get out of that? I guess China doesn't play. Right?
You can never get out of that.
No. Even if someone from the government said, the Koreans, what I understood from watching so many Koreans, there are some Korean people here. I mean, they're factories, but I don't really know any Korean in person. They're really proud people. So even if someone told them, okay, guys, you don't have to, their proud wouldn't allow them to skip that, Their pride. Yeah.
It happened with Big Bang. That group Big Bang. One of the guys had to go, and they were reaching a certain height that they were getting really big, and one of the members left for the military, and they just coming back. So it looked like they're about to pass the torch back to Big Bang, and Big Bang is going to take off again. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, possible. Yeah. But too bad. They reach a certain level, and then they was.
That's why they're trying to put out albums every month now.
Yeah,
they're trying to put out a lot of albums. I bet you before that guy goes, they're gonna put out probably another album before he leaves.
I don't think so. The last album was published on the 26th of February.
Yeah.
And he has to go by the end of this year. So I don't think so. They had plans for a tour, US tour, and European tour. this spring and summer. But due to this, maybe we're going to be lucky if there are any concerts at all. I mean, not just BTS. And the closest I was to BTS was actually Cesar, who spoke to them, right? And got some shots.
Thank you.
Yeah, those were really good shots, especially at the airport.
Yes.
And I was always wondering, you're recording. I don't know. I'm an amateur. I don't have a clue. And you're always, I don't know. You're probably holding something. Like you're always tall, or you're really tall.
So I'm tall. I'm 6'2". I'm 6'2". And
okay.
But I extend my hands. Like I take the camera and I just extend all the way up, so it looks like I'm like 7 foot.
I was wondering. I knew you were doing something, differently, but I was watching other videos too, and I don't see so many people doing it like that. They're usually recorded like this, but your videos are like this. I can see everything.
Yes. That's my own style. That's my signature. That's my signature style.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yes. I would recommend that, definitely.
Yes. Yeah, I've been doing it.
When was the first time you saw one of Cesar's videos? Was it because of BTS, or you saw him before?
No, BTS, of course, because sometimes when I have time, I watch several, BTS videos or something. I usually work on my computer and listen to their music, but sometimes in the evening when I have some free time, I watch either Pep's videos or their shows or something like that. And it was one of many, but it caught my attention because, as I said, the angle, the quality of video, and it is the only channel that caught my eye, and then the voice. I remember the voice. I was like, is this guy just a fan or a professional? What's happening? And then when I because there are many fans who are just way crazy about them. And I was like, let's check this channel. Saw so many great videos. Saw some others too. So Rihanna and everything, and then I subscribed and then saw that you have a whole another story behind, especially now from Corona time.
Yes.
You're good at it.
Thank you. It's a lot of years. It's like going to school, and not settling, and just keep kind of growing, trying to make myself better doing what I do. But yeah, it's been a lot of years of just, being nice, being real nice to the celebrities and not wanting to get that bad side and bad shots of them. That's what grew, 24/7 Paps, and it not only worked, people, especially celebrities, they can sniff out people that's not genuine, and I've been genuine the whole time. And that's why I have a lot of good relationships. Even with BTS, the more they kept coming, the more they started to notice me, right? And then the more they started to about to talk to me and stuff like that, especially J-Hope, he kept looking at me. He like, you again? And then I'm like, yeah. So I needed like 1 or 2 more times to really get under their skin. Like, okay, this guy is cool, but they know, like I talk to their management. I talk to their security guards. They know who I am. I introduce myself all the time. I don't want to just jump out of a car and be like, hey, I usually introduce myself and I usually let them know who I am. I usually give them my, my YouTube and let them know. Most of them actually watch my YouTube, not BTS, but the management. So they already knew who I was. So they were cool. And, that's the way you're supposed to do it, and not be sneaking around all the time, unless you're cheating on your wife or something like that. Then, I gotta.
I remember the first time you went for them and you were like, yo, that video got like 500,000 views in one day. I was like, who are these people? I remember that. Like, what was that like the first time? What made you follow them? Why did you do it?
So for real, I knew from the fans, right? The fans always tell me who's big and who's not big, especially with K-pop. I have certain fans just for K-pop that told me about Big Bang, that told me about this group called 2NE1, Girls' Generation. So K-pop fans always remind me like, yo, where's the next K-pop video? You know, Cesar, like you slipping. Like where's the next K-pop video? And then it was like Big Bang is in another level right now. Go get them. So they was in New York and they was doing Z100. So I followed them because they garaged them into Z100's garage, and I followed them, and we went to they went to go do like a photo shoot, and then all of a sudden these guys jump out of the cars, look like they had guns, security guards, and I was like, "We're pressed, we're pressed." It was me and two other guys. We was like, "We're pressed." Look at, I had to turn on my camera and everything, show them that was a real camera. And these guys had their hands like in their pockets, like they're about to pull out guns. I was like, "Oh my God, like that's serious," you know? So once they knew that we was pressed, they was like, "Just stay right here. They're gonna come right at you, and just don't move." And I was like, "All right." So they walked right in front of us, and I was like, "Wow, is this easy?" Right? But I didn't see them again till the next trip, you know. But yeah, it just being consistent, being consistent and making sure people they know that you're not a bad guy, and you're trying to, especially for me, I've been trying for K-pop to become mainstream in America, so people know in America, even worldwide, that this is a whole new level of like greatness. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys, the amount of work they put in to be this great, dancing, choreography, even the English now, right? More only RM used to talk English, but now
they're
all
getting
of them,
better.
they're getting better. They're getting better because I can tell. Yeah. And when you on those shows, Jimmy Fallon show and James Gordon show, they pushing the envelope with them, and they want to learn. They want to learn. They want to be, because they're funny. They have like sense of humors and stuff like that. So, they want that. That's the next level to this. And I want to introduce them to the other celebrity world, So, I've been doing that, and I've been loving them. They're good kids, and
Yeah, and as you said, you want to introduce them to the Western world, would you say? Yeah. And when I started listening to their music, I was like, how did I never heard of it. I mean, I'm on YouTube since the beginning of YouTube and never heard one K-pop song. And my friend was like, K-pop exists for 20 years, I was like, really? Really? But even now, I'm stuck to 3 or 4 groups. I don't listen to any. I cannot listen to any K-pop just because it's a K-pop. I listen to BTS, Monsta X, ATEEZ. Those young ones are good to look at.
Gangnam Style K-pop? Is Gangnam Style that guy? He's K-pop?
Yes, but
he's like the father. He's like MC Hammer.
Or he's like one of those Macarena things for me. Like
he's like the Macarena. Yeah, that's a perfect. Yeah.
But you have to one hit each year. That doesn't make any sense. One of my friends is married to a Korean guy. I don't see them often, but she's married to him. They live here, and I asked, what's that Gangnam Style thing? And then she told me Gangnam is like a fancy thing, like Beverly Hills, like fancy neighborhood. And he is making fun of that. That's what they told me. Sorry, K-pop fans, if I'm getting it wrong, correct me in the comments, as Cesar would say.
It was more comedy. It was more comedy than
exactly, but comedy about those people, because when you look carefully at that video, he's doing so many posh things like being in sauna, riding a horse and everything. You probably people who quickly get rich, they start doing those posh things, and he's a little bit mocking them, maybe. But as I said, ATEEZ, I think they're going to be big. ATEEZ, young kids, but very, very good. Yes.
What's the name?
ATEEZ, ATEEZ.
I saw that. I saw them. They came to New York. But they didn't come by my radar yet. Like nobody ever told me about them.
They're new, but in December last year, I think it was December, in Korea, they usually have some big shows at the end of the year. Okay. And they were there and they performed their songs, ATEEZ, But then they surprised BTS with one of their songs, a part of their songs. They were so good at it, at their songs, and BTS was like this. There are many videos like BTS's reaction to ATs, and they were
Wow.
like, "Wow, these guys are good." When
Next level.
BTS shows that face of surprise, that means those guys are gonna be good.
Huge.
They're just started. They debuted in January last year, so they're fresh and
Wow.
new.
Okay,
But
that's
in
good to know. I got my
Mhm.
eyes on them. I got my eyes on them. Then.
Yeah,
Has
watch them.
BTS been around though? How long has they?
7 years. 7 years.
7 years, and they just
Yeah,
broke through. Like, I want to say what, like 3 years ago, like kind of like
probably
what?
3 or 4 years ago. Not
Yeah, yeah,
immediately.
yeah.
There's a very popular video. Their first concert, I mean, in the States. They asked people. They not really begged people, but they gave them the tickets. Like, you want to come to our show? You want to come to our show?
Wow, wow.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're not ashamed of that, and we all
Yeah.
cover it because they
I love the
worked
story
hard.
though. I love the story. I
Yes,
love
yeah,
it.
and
I love it.
there is video when they were in the States, and they're really doing it. It's not
Wow.
just a made up story.
No.
They were like, "Come on, you do it," and they're so young, teenagers, and like, they are shy. Come on, you do it, you're better. No, I won't. But they're the biggest. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think there's a bigger boy
Not right
band
now.
in. No, not right now.
No.
I don't think so.
You know who's getting big too? Blackpink.
I know they are big for some time, but I cannot listen to their music, so I'm not really into it.
I never, they just told me to go for them like one night. Like one night they were like, Cesar, try to find out where they are, see how they are, So
Yeah,
I went,
yeah, they're huge. Yeah, they're huge, but
they're
their
humongous.
music is not my thing. But they are
Yeah,
huge. They
yeah.
are very, very huge.
So I videotaped them, right? They were leaving. They was actually leaving New York when I got them. And I videotaped them real quick and stuff like that. I got like almost 400,000 views off of that too. I was
Yeah,
just like, oh my God, well, I didn't know about these girls,
yeah.
But
That's really popular because I've
yeah,
noticed you've got these YouTubers, young kids. I mean, and they do those reaction things.
yeah,
That's a thing now, I know.
yeah,
And they react to certain things.
yeah,
First time they react to BTS or Blackpink, for instance. When
yeah,
if they had 200 views on average for their videos, they had 20,000 views for
wow,
BTS's reactions. Yeah,
wow,
and there are so more and more people, young people, YouTubers, just reacting to their dancers, reacting to dancers, or just to their videos, performance, commenting. And that's what Miguel said. Their, the views are enormous for some,
yes,
and their subscribers, getting the number is getting bigger and bigger.
for
So
sure,
sometimes people are using that, but usually K-pop fans can see who genuinely enjoys and
yeah.
who does that just to have more subscribers.
Yeah,
It's something.
I gained a lot of subscribers, but my whole backstory. I mean, I've been doing it for so long. I got about, I want to say, 40 videos of K-pop stars, and so you could tell. And I talk to a lot of K-pop fans, and they know how genuine I am. Of course, you run into them like, leave them alone, like
Yeah,
it's their
yeah.
day off and stuff like that. So I kind of, I have to go through the noise, because I'm trying to introduce them to something that they've never seen before. You know what I'm saying? Like their real life, and them outside of the whole world of dancing and stuff like that, and and them being humanized, being
Yeah.
human. I know, a couple people say they're gods, what I'm saying? And I'm like, wow, they put them in those kind of pedestals, but it's
Yeah.
like, they're human, right?
Yeah.
And you can
Their
love them
voice.
all you want, but at the end of the day, they're human. And
Yeah.
and I want them to know their human side too, that they're cool and they're nice to people, and they're nice people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean that's the way I attack it, but some people still try to get at me, and I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, but those are double standards. Like, you
Yeah,
have, I don't know, thousands of them criticizing you, but they're still there watching it and enjoying
exactly.
it. Like,
Exactly.
if
Yeah.
I didn't have you to watch this, I probably wouldn't record it. So you're
Yeah.
giving me.
Yeah.
So Maria, you said you freelance. You want to talk to the audience, pitch, tell people how they can get in touch with you if they need what you do. There's a
Oh
platform
dear.
for you too.
Well, thank you. Free commercials. Well, I mostly do subtitles. I mean, I've been to technology a lot, so I've done web tools for your education. I mentioned that we have created web to educational catalog a few years ago, and it's, I mean, I think it's a unique place because you can never in English see uh, almost all popular web tools at one place. Of course, some of them are, you know, shutting down and everything, but at one place, and you have categories, audio, video, and so on. Now I'm more into subtitles, and so I'm translating popular American TV shows, you know, and reality shows or things like that. Although I did films, westerns, over 200 westerns or spaghetti westerns,
That's
uh,
cool.
and and I also do subtitles in English. I mean, I could do them in Serbia, but I don't work with Serbians that much. For instance, I mentioned a few days ago, I have a YouTuber. He has 2.1 million subscribers right now, and he's a German guy. He speaks English, but there's a certain accent. Of course, you can hear my accent too. So sometimes it's maybe difficult for a guy or a kid in the US because it's a kid-friendly channel to understand what he said. So I'm doing subtitles in English.
Nice.
And I timestamp them and everything. So mostly subtitles and distance learning, you know, online education and so on. And I also work in regular school, of course.
Nice.
Wow.
Mhm.
Maria's busy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes.
So it was a you've been our first fan of our show on the show. Thank you for being our first. And
Am I gonna get a star? That
Yeah.
star?
we
Yeah,
gotta
get the big start.
once the
Yeah.
coronavirus is over.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so tell me, the guy that you said, the German Serbia guy, does he sing? Is he a singer?
No, German guy is a German guy from Germany.
No. I'm just saying because you said 2 million followers.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, how did he get?
He had a couple of thousand, I don't know, maybe 50,000 subscribers when we started 3 years ago, I think. And he asked me, I was on Upwork. I'm still on Upwork, so but not so active because I'm too busy out of it. And Upwork has big fees, so that's why I'm not there. And so he found me on Upwork, asked me, do you want to do subtitles for me? And so on. I said, okay, let's try. And he actually makes clay figures, mostly from games. You know, Fortnite, Brawl Stars, Minecraft,
Yes.
Roblox. So everything that's very popular and huge, especially Fortnite. You've seen Jimmy Kimmel like dancing Fortnite, dance with BTS.
Yes.
So I don't play Fortnite, but I know a lot about it because of those figures. And he actually makes clay figures, but not in a boring style, like this is a clay and here it is. Like he always adds something to it, you know, you have to check it out. He adds some certain things, then he interacts with audience. Then a good advice,
What's his
makes
channel? What's the name of his channel?
Clay Claim. CLAYCLAIM. Clay Claim.
This is on Instagram?
No, YouTube.
This is on YouTube.
Oh wow.
YouTube. He's got a lot of followers on Instagram, but I don't have time to go so much on Instagram.
Oh,
I have it,
cool.
but I'm not. But I do subtitles on YouTube, and he always adds something. You know, he makes a poll like who I'm gonna make next, which character I'm gonna make next. You know,
Yes.
and then kids. I guess that most of his subscribers are kids. You know, most, not, I don't know. But not all of them, because you can see comments, and especially some people watch it because it's very, you know, satisfying to see work done. You know, he starts and he explains very well some of his simple works. You can do it on your own, and sometimes he combines different materials. And he started being an influencer now. Like I can see big companies, big names in gamers world contacting him because he says this video is sponsored by, and then he says the name of the company. So you know, I think people can learn a lot from him because he is that what you're talking about, starting from small thing, being innovative and creative, but being persistent.
Yes.
And after 3 years, I think 2.1 million is not a, you
That's
know,
amazing, amazing.
that's amazing. And
I'm
he
looking at the
keeps
video.
growing.
This is crazy. Like he
Yeah.
got a Thanos one he made in clay. This is crazy.
It's really interesting to watch. If your kids are into, you can,
We're gonna put it.
show.
We're gonna put it on our thing, but definitely send me the link. Send me the link.
Yeah, I will. I will. I'll send you an email.
Email,
Mhm.
definitely.
So I'm showing the audience real quick on my screen. But yeah.
Actually, that's what you're watching now. That's his intro. It took him 6 months to make 30 seconds of that slow motion intro. That's
Wow.
that's another thing. That's stop motion movie, not slow motion, stop motion. And then he starts to play. That's just an intro,
So
Wow.
So you can rewind a bit up to the end to see the figure. It's
so check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's cool.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing, amazing, amazing. We had another girl on here that she does a lot with the little. Remember that girl that did the One Direction, dolls and stuff. Mm-hmm. Right now she's stuck. She's stuck because you see the clay. You could get a whole bunch of clay and just do the. That's a whole different kind of thing. But she has to get the right heads, the right thing. But it's real artsy. But she's stuck right now because she don't know how to do the business side of it.
Yeah. I think you have to learn. You have to learn a lot about marketing. Is a whole another level. It is my area of interest, and if I were 20 years younger or so, I would probably go into marketing or some web design or anything.
There's still time.
It's never too late, Marija.
We got Corona time. You can practice. You can work with us. You can market.
Corona. When it's Corona time, you have all the time in the world.
No, I don't. Trust me. I took some business and I was like, oh, this is too much. Doing something for publishers because I do some articles and books and everything. Wow. And I knew that it's going to take me like 3 months to do it. And I was like, I took too much. This is too much, but I have to. And then with Corona, I'm like, oh, great. Now I don't feel guilty for not going out.
Exactly.
I have plenty of time. I'll finish it by the end of Corona. And now I go out and hang out with my friends and everything's going to be perfect. So I'm not bored, and I enjoy listening to you guys at night because I love night. I'm a night person. You're good stories and everything. But definitely you have to, that's a business, that's marketing. I can see that he's even experimenting with certain things. Yeah. And let's say 7 out of 10 do go. 3, are not a good idea. But 7 are, so he tries, he interacts. Sometimes there are giveaways, but not so much. The channel is not about giveaways and things like that.
Yeah.
Mostly about being creative. Sometimes he makes up the story. Like, I'm going to make this character and then I don't know anything about it. Fortnite didn't make anything, didn't write any story about him, so let's make it out. And so he makes up a story and you're like, listening, you're like 40-year-old and listening to his story, like, what am I doing? But it's interesting, he got your attention and the subscribers keep growing, it's happening.
You can't stop. You can't stop.
No. So interesting stories. That's what you guys do.
Yeah, we try. We're doing more than trying. We're just putting ourselves out there. We're making sure.
It's our 20th day in a row.
20 days in a row, so.
And bring out first person. You probably been here for 20 other shows, Marija. I feel like
almost. I'm gonna be honest, almost 20 shows.
Marija, thank you so much, Marija. Thank you so much.
No, thank you guys. Like, this is a rare opportunity, and I think you're in a good way and supporting young people and everything, giving them a chance to promote their work. I saw that guy who sings, who knows, maybe in 10 years it's going to be popular, who made him popular, Cesar and Miguel, and so on.
We could rewind it back and be like, yeah, we're the one that broke him. We broke him into the world,
Exactly.
So I guess Cesar, any final words to the audience, Maria, and then Cesar.
Do we have any questions from her?
So right now, no, nobody's asking questions. I've asked, but guess people are just watching.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Maria, any questions or anything you want to say before we leave?
Well, I wanted to ask, how long have you been into this job? I didn't hear that during these shows. I'm interested in that.
I've been doing this for 16 years, Maria. So I'm gonna after the show, I'm gonna email you my podcast. So in my podcast, besides the live show, I have an actual podcast that you can listen to. The first couple of episodes, I talk about how I started. I started with my wife. You know, she was going crazy. She was like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "I want to be a paparazzi." You know, and she was like, "I don't like paparazzis." You know what I'm saying? So I kind of changed her mind after watching the show. It was called Celebrity Uncensored, and back in the day, that show was like one of the most popular shows on each channel. And the video guys looked like they was having fun with the celebrities. So I was like, you know, I feel like I can do that, you know, and it just, every night when I went to sleep, it just kept like pushing me, like, go do it, go do it, go do it. And I was like, you know what? I bought a camera and I just went out there and did it, you know. And the first one was, you ever heard of Giselle Bundchen?
Not sure. What did she do?
She's a supermodel. She used to be, she's married to Tom Brady from the.
I know.
So she was the first one I ever videotaped, and she took off running, right? So I was just like, oh my God, like what happened, you know? And then the way I was doing it when I first started, I was like, if I videotape a celebrity, then my wife was next. Then I go, then she goes, like that, right?
Okay, I get it.
So when I jumped back in the car, we saw somebody else. We saw another celebrity, and I told my wife, you know, it's your turn. She was like, I don't want to do it. I was like, what? I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, I don't want to do it. I was like, okay, let's go home. You know, we was like arguing and stuff like that.
We'll discuss this at home.
Yeah. So, you know, it took us a little bit because you have to get out of your comfort zone to go in front of a person and do videotape or take a picture of a pedestrian, you know. So it kind of like it was breaking me down a little bit because I was just like what is this guy gonna think of me and stuff like that, or what
it reminds me like a few months ago before this corona stuff. I was taking an escalator and Martha Stewart passed me, and I told Cesar, does Martha Stewart make money for paparazzi? He was like, yeah, get her. And I was like, I'm not going to get her. I was just asking you. I was like, I'm not going all the way down, run up in front of her. And I'm like, I don't know if I would do that. He was like, oh, you should have did it. You'd have made $1,000. I was like, oh man, you would have told me that. I think I would have did it.
Because she was in the news. So she was in the news, and everything was this is real timely now. You know, like you can't really take a picture just of a regular celebrity and make a good amount of money. Sometimes the stories make more money than the actual pictures of a regular celebrity. So, you know, I was telling Miguel about that, but with the podcast, you're gonna see, sometimes you're gonna be like, oh my God, really? Like, I talk about.
We actually started the same year. I started working in 2004. Did you start working then?
About 2000, the end of 2004. Yeah.
I started working in August 2004. So there I was with my students, and there you were with celebrities. Life's not fair.
Yeah, you see?
Life's not fair.
Yeah,
but you did not regret it. You would not, for instance, start doing another job if you were 16 years younger. No.
Well, I was a security guard. I was doing night security at the Waldorf Astoria in New York. It's one of the most famous hotels in New York City.
I know.
Yes, yeah. So I used to meet celebrities there all the time. I used to be the one in charge of bringing them up to their rooms. You know, so when I turned into a paparazzi, one of the first people that I used to see was Angelina Jolie, and she
Wow.
looked at me, and I used to bring her up all the time, and I was one of the only people that she used to trust with her kids and everything like that.
Yeah.
So when she first saw me, she was like, "Oh my God, like no way, it's him." But I put the camera like this, so it could cover my face, so she don't see me. But like years later, she kept looking at me, and she's like, "Cesar, like, what are you doing?" You know what I'm saying? And then she kind of walked away, you know. But I never had that conversation with her yet. You know? But the stuff I saw at the Waldorf, now I probably would have made like $2 million at the Waldorf.
Wow.
Yeah. But I can't talk about those stories. I can't talk about those stories.
No, when you retire, then you write a book about
Yes. When I retire, but that's what's going to be part of the podcast. I reveal a lot of stories, a lot of intimate stories. I got 7 episodes right now, and I'm getting into the money shots. So those are the kind of the biggest money making stories that I ever did. And we just started with part 1 last week, and we're gonna go through 4 parts of that. So it's been crazy with this Corona stuff, but my mind is starting to expand more. I'm starting to do more, totally different things. So I mean, I've been enjoying myself with Miguel. We're doing the live shows now, and then just building. We're building.
Yeah, storytelling. There's the time to tell your story.
Yeah, and to stay positive.
Always.
Not Corona positive.
You got to be positive. You got to be positive.
Yeah.
Don't let nobody, mess with that mind of yours. You could
No. To be honest, I think in my humble opinion, people are spoiled because people here also say like, oh, I cannot go out. Like, but you have food, you have internet, you have music, you can, talk to your friends. Just not so long ago, 50, 70 years ago, when there was a Second World War, imagine that, that hell, which lasted for 4 years. So now, people are getting creative, getting back to, I saw them playing some old school games, at home, getting stuff with their family.
Yes.
So it's not that bad. Let's just stay at home.
You know what it is? When you pass a certain age, right? I'm saying 35 to about anybody above 35, we know how to entertain ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know we was there we didn't have no phones. You know what I'm saying? Like we had the rotary phones and we had the beepers. We had the little beepers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So
I remember I think it was 10 years ago. There was one in my old school, there was that rotary phone. I don't know why we had it, because no one has it. Yes. But, schools are always the last, which gets, money. And he was not feeling well. And one teacher told him, like, call your parents. Feel free to call your parents. Here's the school phone. And he was like, what do I do with it?
What do I do?
What do you mean call my parents? And I was like, I remember that.
Oh my God. I just remember the thing going at like 9, 1. If they had a 9 on it, that thing took forever. You had to go all the way around
to come back.
All the way back. Yeah.
You should probably do one live shows about old school stuff and maybe even old. Yeah.
That's a great
technology's moving now.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be. We can't even imagine what they're gonna have.
Oh my God.
Really? And then you have Corona, and you don't, and then you go back to old stuff.
Let me tell you something. The person they're gonna create something ridiculous out here. You know what I'm saying? But what Corona has been teaching people is to be creative again, right? To use your mind, and be creative, because that's what the society is missing for a certain amount of years. That creativity, you know what I'm saying? And not just staying like this on your phone and
I truly hope there's gonna be a change. I truly hope just a little change, because I was thinking like, why do we buy so much clothes? Why do we buy so many things? I was like thinking, okay, 2 pajamas, 1 pants, 1 pair of shoes. That's what you really need, because you don't need more when you're at home. So why do we have to buy so many things, and when you buy so many things, you destroy, planet, let's say. You buy stuff and they have to produce it, and they, you know, the process.
Yes.
But I do hope people are going to appreciate more and to buy less, you know,
Yes.
not to, to spend time with each other too.
Yeah.
But I am expecting that what Miguel mentioned a few days ago, that your guys are preparing something different, innovative.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We've been working hard. We've been working hard behind the
I
scenes.
can see that smile. Miguel is smiling.
Yeah. Miguel's Mr. Technology, you know, and he really instilled it in me, you know, to think outside the box. I always thought outside the box. Even when I was in the military for 4 years, I used to sell CDs. I used to make mix CDs, and I had a mix CD. I had a mixer that I put one CD and make 5 CDs at one time. Like we used to write CDs. So I used to make the covers and everything, and I used to photocopy the covers of the CDs.
I remember that age. It was like, I don't know, 15 years ago here, and maybe 20 years ago there. I don't know.
This is about 20 years, because it was like 1996, 97, around that time.
Yeah.
So everybody used to have the Walkmans and stuff like that. So I used to be on the ship selling CDs, $10, $10, $10. I used to never used to touch my money, my regular money that was coming into my bank. And so I was selling CDs like crazy. And that's what, I didn't touch my money for almost 3 years when I was in the Navy. I used to just have the cash and use the cash for everyday stuff, you know? So I always thought outside the box, but with Miguel, with technology and taking the paparazzi world and kind of flipping it upside down, and we're about to make a huge impact in a paparazzi world.
Wow. I'm looking forward to that.
Yep. No pressure. It's gonna be fun. You'll see. You'll see, Marija.
Okay.
Maybe you'll be one of our partners.
Yes. Translated.
For this part of the world, with some advice.
Translation. You know, we never know. We need everything.
Yep.
So,
Who knows?
So very, very nice meeting you. Now there's a name and a face to the chat.
Yes. You family now, Marija. You family now.
Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks. You know, and you mentioned a lot of New Jersey. Someone's from New Jersey. Is it Miguel? No.
I'm in New Jersey now. I lived in Harlem for 38 years, and I moved out to New Jersey 2 years ago.
Oh, because what do you think? What's my favorite show? TV show? What do you think?
Sopranos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I watch them. I watch them. I don't know, dozens of times, and I usually watch the all seasons, all episodes once a year. And now I canceled HBO because I'm working a lot and I can't. I don't have time to watch TV. And I was like, I can watch Sopranos. Yeah, but you canceled HBO. Now you canceled it.
I recently just watched those Sopranos too. It's funny you say that.
I love them. I don't know. I don't think I can say I don't have other. Maybe Game of Thrones is okay, but Sopranos is the only show I love. It's so good. I love that humor, that irony. Their witty dialogues. And I love telling several stories. Not just stick to one story, and they're amazing. So when you said New Jersey, I was like, wow, I remember those shots and the intro and everything.
Let me tell you something. I used to have the greatest time with James Gandolfini, the main guy.
I know. He
passed away. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we used to have a love-hate relationship.
Yeah. He seemed like that.
God.
I can be good, but I can be bad.
Exactly. Like, he used to just be like, yo, how the hell did you find me? I was like, you're the only big guy that drives around in a scooter. He used to be in a little scooter like this. This guy is massive, big guy in a little scooter like this. So every time we see him, I used to just follow him and then we take pictures. But he used to love us though. But man, we used to have like yelling matches at each other. And but he was amazing. He was amazing actor, an amazing guy. He was an amazing guy.
Yeah. He was. He really was.
So, Cesar, any final words?
Thank you, guys. We had our special guest, Marija, all the way from Serbia to bless us today, for real, it's an honor to have you with us. You know, we was thinking about what we was gonna say in the show and stuff like that, and we was like, you know what?
Let's take that risk. Let's take that risk.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. She earned it too. You know what I'm saying? Like you earned it. You earned it, you know, because you've been with us from day one, from when we started this. So, you know, it's the least we can do, you know, and this has been one of my favorite shows too. So, you know.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for giving me that honor to be part of your show and everything. And I don't know what to say. I usually don't like cameras. I don't like facts, so stay away from me. When I become a celebrity.
Okay.
No, really, I don't like cameras, so I avoid that. But it was like, oh, I just want to talk to these guys, to these people, because they're just a great team. I see you as a team, to be honest.
Thank you.
And I think a great future is in front of you, you know, and can't wait to see what's expecting all of us
Definitely.
fans.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And that's the perfect closer. Love you guys.